And back to our top story tonight regarding thousands of cars getting stolen every year here on Oahu.
But as we're saying, criminals only face charges in about 7% of those cases. KITV4's Paul Drews shows us what usually happens when your car gets stolen.
This year, on average, 5 vehicles were stolen around Oahu every single day. And while that number may sound like a lot, it's actually down from last year.
We hear people telling stories of their cars, you know, in the broad daylight, you know, whether it be on the street or at home or at the mall.
At Security and Sound Systems, experts install devices on cars and trucks so they won't join the 750 vehicles that have already been stolen around Oahu this year alone.
So everyone thinks they have a factory security system because they have a remote control that came with the car that has a lock, unlock, and a panic button. That's really misleading.
In the past, certain cars, like Hondas, were targeted because they were easy to hotwire and steal, but that is not the case now.
We see a decrease in the amount of vehicles we find with the ignition assembly just damaged, and they're forcing the car to start. A lot of them now we see nowadays they are utilizing the keys.
Vehicles are stolen all around Oahu, but Honolulu police say there are auto theft hotspots.
One of our larger problem area is coastal areas. So people go to the beach, they get their keys, you know, they put them in their, wrap it in a towel, they go for a swim, or they hide it on the outside of the car somewhere, or they use the lock boxes. Those seem to be occurring problems with the problem areas for the auto thefts.
Once a criminal takes off with your vehicle, it usually doesn't end up in a chop shop for parts or shipped out of state.
The majority of them, they're using these vehicles to commit other crimes. And usually we find them fairly shortly thereafter, and they are recovered.
That is why it's important to call police to report a stolen vehicle right away. They'll first check to make sure it wasn't towed for some reason, and then put out an all-points bulletin to try to locate it. And if you do get your sweet ride back, Captain Akagi says don't expect it to be in the same condition you left it in.
People who do steal vehicles, they have no, regard for personal property, and they really do damage the vehicle. So you do see a lot of these vehicles that get recovered. There is a lot of damage to it.
While there are high-tech ways to safeguard your vehicle, a good idea is very low-tech. Simply lock your car and keep the keys with you. Reporting in Kaka'ako, Paul Drews, KITV4 Island News.